Today's guest on Leave Your Mark is Zoeffa, PhD. He is a lecturer, researcher in management sciences. He's a speaker, trainer, entrepreneur, and an expert coach. I help aspiring entrepreneurs to get clarity and confidence in their true passion and get paid to doing what drives them deeply. He's also a minister and a very passionate person of God and personal development and leadership. Zoe, welcome to Leave Your Mark. Thank you for being here today.
I'm excited.
Hi there, and welcome. Now it's time for America's favorite podcast, Leave Your Mark, with your host, Vince Cortese.
If it's fly, loose fitted, it's Cortez. If freezing, chubbers in it, it's Cortez.
Leave Your Mark is about inspiring the world, one guest at a time.
Pass the word from Brooklyn to Pittsburgh, from urban to suburb, it's Cortez, you heard?
And here is our host, Vince Cortese.
You're in Cameroon, Africa, correct?
Yes, Central Africa.
Okay, now this is very exciting to have you here because you're our first international guest, but you're also our first personal development coach, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I kind of want to touch and give the listeners a little background on you and your childhood and what it was like and what it was like being in your family and so forth. So take me into your youth. I don't know, say like 10, 11 years old, and what was life like, and how did you see life going, and what were you going to be up to?
Okay, when I think about my upbringing, my youth, what I can tell is that I grew up with a mother who is a woman of faith, and a father who was a little bit abusive financially. What does that mean? It means that he used to condition his financial support with the fact that we had to abandon or give up our faith. And on the other side, there was my mother, who was a faith woman who educated us in the faith values. So that was the dichotomy of the environment in which I was brought up into. But the fact is that I had the influence of the both in my life. First of all, the faith values of my mother deeply influence how I'm seeing things now, how I'm understanding the world, how I'm perceiving things, but also the entrepreneurship side of my father, because he was a successful entrepreneur and he didn't believe in God in the first period of his life. And thanks God, because in the last days he got converted in the faith. But that is how I grew up. I grew up with these two pillars who define who I am today, because I'm a minister of the gospel. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I'm also a coach. So I grew up also with this hatred about poverty, because the simple fact that my father used to condition his support with the fact that we have to give up our faith created in me a hatred when it comes to poverty, and not just because of poverty, but because of the dependency it reduces people to. Because when you are financially dependent, people can influence you in such a way that you can even give up your values in life. That is how my upbringing defined or shaped how I'm high today, because I am this kind of guy who want to make or help the world know that it's possible to be a faith guy, to be a value guy, to follow your purpose, to follow your calling, and at the same time live an abundant life, because it's possible to live the two. And that is why I came up with this concept of true passion. That is how I grew up. That is how my parents influenced who I am today.
No, you go on to school and you get a master's and a PhD, and
Yeah.
so life begins to happen. What was your degree in?
I had a PhD in management science, and I'm a lecturer here in one of our state university, and that is also the influence of my father, who was so concerned about our formal education because he didn't have the opportunity to have a father who was able to to send him to school. So he used to tell us that we have to go to school because we have a father who can pay for that, and that is how I grew up. That is how I had all my degrees. I went to university and I got my PhD. Now I'm a lecturer. That is how I.
Okay.
So now I'm a minister and I'm also a lecturer and a PhD lecturer.
So when you graduated from school and university, then were you entrepreneurial right out of school, or did you take a job somewhere else? And then, how did life begin to unfold there in your early 20s?
Oh, I'm glad you are asking that because at the beginning of my career, I was not an entrepreneur because my father, even though he was an entrepreneur, used to push me to have a good job. So I started by being a consultant for some entrepreneurs here when it comes to accounting and financial statements and all this kind of stuff. So I started with a formal job, and I also started teaching in some private institutes here. So I didn't start my journey as an entrepreneur. My entrepreneurial journey started when my father died in 2012. That is when all this stuff started because to be quite frankly, it was difficult for me at that time to go into this entrepreneurial journey when my father was there because I think his presence blinded me or was blinding me from these opportunities I had with the fact that it's possible for me to use what I know, what differentiates me from other people to make a living and to improve other people's lives. So my entrepreneurial journey started just after the death of my father.
Let me ask you a question then, kind of stepping back into then working into the financial arena and having a day job, so to speak, the 9 to 5. And how much of that moving forward when your father passed plays in to having a deeper, a bigger understanding of what to do as an entrepreneur?
You see, today, that is today, when I'm looking backward, that I understand that is children pick up what you are, not what you say. So even though he used to push me to get a job, get a good degree, get a good job, unconsciously, I picked up his way of living. And the fact was that I noticed very young that in the families, I mean, among his brethren and sisters, he was the one who was like the breadwinner. When they had financial issues, he was the one who was always stepping out to solve the problem. So you see that very early, I discovered that this is the guy who is making the game. This is the guy who had the money. So when I grew up, first of all, I discovered that because he was in a logging business, he was in a logging business. I discovered that in his contract that he had with one of his partners, his main partners, he wrote literally that I have to continue in that activity. So all of that came into place and had an influence in me in such a way that I discovered that is the real way I have to go to because that is a way to be financially free. That is the way to live a life on your terms. And that is really what I wanted because by the fact that I tasted being an employee, I discovered that it's difficult and it's been quite impossible to become financially free by being an employee. So all these different episodes, different events of my life had an influence so that when my father died, with this part of this contract where he said that I have to continue the activity to play an important role in me so that now I'm in the entrepreneurial journey.
So this kind of ties together all of how being a minister, being a entrepreneur, and having your faith and having money too plays in. So I guess it was around 2012 you began to look into online entrepreneurship, and then you work your way into you're now a coach. So how does this all begin to happen?
Okay, my entrepreneurial journey, to be clear, started in 2012, but my entrepreneurial journey through internet started around 2014, 2016 by then. And what brought me to that level, to internet, when I was ordained, because I've been ordained, I had this conflict in me because I was in conflict with the fact that serving God means that I have to be financially broke. And the other part of me was after financially freedom. So I spent 7 years, I think it was from 2004 till 2011, struggling with that conflict in my life because all those ministers I was getting inspiration from were almost broke, and unconsciously it was like if I want to serve God, if I want to become a minister of God, I would have forcibly to become or to live in poverty. But at the period of 2011, I started reading some books of the late Dr. Miles Monroe, Think and Grow Rich, and The Science of Getting Rich, and many other books of one of Tony Robbins. And that is how I started understanding that, wow, there is no problem with a minister being rich. There is no problem with following your calling, achieving your purpose, and be financially free. And that is how in 2014, I started sharing on the internet my thoughts concerning that topic. And that is how all my journey on the internet started. Because when I started sharing my thoughts, I had some feedback from people who were saying, that's good, that blessed me, that was so inspiring. And that is how I started on the internet. I started on the internet just by sharing my thoughts because I didn't have somebody in the church environment with whom I can share that. So I started sharing it on the internet. I think it was in Twitter, and I got some feedback, and that is how I got some encouragement to continue. And that is how things started moving until today.
Connect with us on LinkedIn. Be our friend on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Whether jumping out the MP or jumping on the app.
You are listening to Vince Cortese. We just want you to leave your mark.
So now you have a master class, and it's discover your true passion. And I think what I got most out of seeing proportions of this is that you emphasize the willingness to do the work in order to succeed. And you reference how to find your true gift of passion. So can you share a little bit of how your course is and what it entails?
Yes, my main concept and the core concept that upon which my online business now is based is what you call true passion. Why emphasizing on the term true? Because nowadays what many people call passion is not really a passion, it's just an hobby. When you study the concept of passion and you go back in time, in the origin, in the beginning, passion has nothing to do with just what you love. Because today, when people want you to follow your passion, they used to say that follow what you love. But passion is much more than that, it's deeper than that. I remember, let me share with you a story and an experience that I had. I think it was in 2010. I was in the band of my community for 3 years then, and I was a poor singer. I made all the effort you can imagine to improve my singing proficiency, but I was a poor of the poorest, or the poorest of the poorest. And I remember one day going back home on the side road thinking about quitting. I was thinking about quitting because I said to myself that what I love doesn't love me. It was literally what I said. What I love music, but the music doesn't love me. And as I was planning about quitting, and a couple of weeks later, our leaders made an announcement that he recruited a singing trainer, a professional singing trainer. And I decided to give him a shot. And I remember clearly in my mind the first session he auditioned us. So the professional singing trainer came, he auditioned us to judge our level of singing. I had a bad performance, the poor performance of the session. But at the end, I decided to go and see him because I wanted to know if there is hope for me, because I didn't want to invest my time and my energy in something that will not get me some result. And I didn't want to get get frustration over frustration. So when I meet her, I told him that I love music, but since 3 years I was in this band, there is no improvement in my singing proficiency, and I don't know if I am made for this. And he told me something that changed my life. I assure you, he told me that when it comes to singing, and almost always also in other domains in life, gift is good just for giving you clue where you have to invest your time and your energy. But nobody in life becomes successful just by being gifted. Gift is here to give you the indication where you have to invest your time and money. And he said to me this: what will make the difference down the road here is your passion. And I said to him, what is passion? He said to me that your passion will be defined by your willingness to put the work and to do all the exercise I will be giving you. And if you do exactly what I said, I can assure you that 1 year from now, you will be a best singer. And at that time, during this first session, he gave us three vocal exercises that we had to practice 3 to 4 times per week. And when I went back home, I said to my wife that, I have to exercise 7 days over 7, 365 days over 365. My wife was thinking that I thought that I was joking, but I practiced 365 days over 365 days. And guess what, Vince? At the end of the first year session, the first year training, we had like an evaluation session. And all of the members of the band were saying that I was the best singer of all the band. I was the best singer of all the band. And after that, I got recruited of one of the best band in the city just because I understood the real meaning of passion. And I applied this principle in everything that I did since then. And that is how I started understanding the real meaning of passion. It's not defined by what you love. When you see the etymology and the origin of passion, or means to suffer, it comes from the Greek word, Latin word that means to suffer. But not to suffer like the word compassion, but because compassion means to suffer with, but passion means to suffer for. What are you willing to suffer for? And things that define your willingness to suffer, is something you love so much, you are willing to pay the price to achieve it in other people's life, or something you hate so much, you are willing to pay the price to change it also in other people's life. True passion has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the people I want to serve. That is where there is confusion between passion and hobby. So my program and my masterclass is about, first of all, raising the level of awareness of people on the fact that there is a true passion, and everyone we have a true passion. And the true passion has this potential not just to help you achieve financial freedom, because it has to do to solving other people's problem, but it also can help you achieve your purpose. So in that masterclass, is a 6-week masterclass. Is 6 lessons. The first is about the true passion formula, where I get them into the 7 most powerful questions to uncover their true passion, and the 5 factors of their true passion. The second lesson is about the marketable, what I call the marketable passion formula, to help them turn their passion into a product that a market can buy. The third lesson is about the marketplace success formula, to help them understand how money flows in the market and how you can attract it. The fourth lesson is about what I call the expert type, because there are 5 ways you can make a difference with your information, what I call the talented expert, the skillful expert, the survivor expert, the reporter expert, or the connector expert. The 5th lesson is about the blue ocean formula, 5 questions to answer to create your niche where competition is irrelevant. And the last lesson is the profitable stage formula, 5 secrets to set up your stage for impact and profit. So globally, this is the 6th lesson of this masterclass.
Now, of this master class, you're doing this is one-on-one coaching with you?
Yes, first now it's one-on-one, because I have to fix an issue with, since my country is not supported by many of these payment gateway companies or software. I have to find workarounds. So for now, I work one-on-one. Those who want that can reach out to me, inbox, they send me their email, and I started giving them this course week by week, because it's a modulated masterclass. I give first week, and I give you the time to implement the first lesson, then the second. So it's a 6-week masterclass.
Now, based on where you're currently at, what is your biggest challenge right now with your course? Obviously, this payment issues is a bit of a problem. Hopefully that can be resolved shortly. But as far as your biggest challenge in getting in front of your audiences and getting a chance to share your message?
Apart this payment gateway integration issue, the big problem, or the big challenge, because it's not a problem, is to get in other people platform and stage, because I strongly believe in the message I'm sharing, because I'm living it. And I have many clients here in my country who applied it, and their life completely changed. So that is my big issue, my big challenge, but I will fix it. I will fix it. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a problem solver.
There you go. And that's a great opportunity for those that want to be coached by you to follow your lead and do as you do. And that's a wonderful thing. Before I close, I'm going to want to get your information and links so we can drop this on, so that listeners can follow you and get access to your course. I would like to ask you before we close, though, is and this is leave your mark. So I would like to know how you would like to be remembered. What would you like to be your mark in this world to be?
I have to be remembered as this guy who helped people understand that passion is the way. True passion is the way. True passion is the way, because basically people are seeking meaning, are seeking abundance, meaning, financial freedom. And I want to be remembered as the guy who helped them understand with the fact that true passion can help you achieve all of that.
That's
You, you
awesome.
don't you, you don't have to choose. You can have all of that with true passion.
Very well said. I mean, I'm ready to go. I'm signing up. Well, this was a thrill for me to have the opportunity. We met on the internet. I think it was Instagram.
Yeah,
And you
Instagram.
were posting a lot of motivational quotes and mindsets, and I was picking up on it, and I decided to DM you, and you responded. Here we are. So this was kind of cool. You know, this was an internet relationship, legit. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no, I'm very enthused about what you do. The idea of understanding your passion, because I think for many years I was searching for what it is. My true meaning was in it. And, you know, a man on a mission is the most attractive man there is out there. So when that mission is larger than your capacity and your passion takes over, that special
You
things happen.
money is good, but money is not all. We want money for something. We don't want money to admire money, to put money on the table and just rejoice because we have money. The the importance and the criticality of money comes from the fact that there is something for which I want to use it. And when you have to discover your calling, when you discover your purpose, that is how you can use that money as a fuel to get to your destination. Money is not a destination, it's just a means to an end. And we have to understand that just having money is not enough, it's not an end in itself. And a certain period of my life, I had a lot of money. And let me tell you, one day I was sitting by myself and I asked myself, if I can remain in that state of wealth and riches and being able to travel all around the world and do whatever I want, will I be happy? And my response was no. Money is good, but money is not everything. But when I shifted my focus from me to other people, I can assure you that just by seeing the joy in the eyes of someone when you help him understand his true passion, and when you see him starting sharing his passion and impacted lives, is far beyond and is far above the joy of money. That is why it's very important for everybody, not just to achieve financial freedom, but most of all, to achieve their purpose, because that is where there is juice. That is where you will find real happiness. Just by getting involved in your passion or the activity of your passion, you feel fulfilled. You don't need money. And that is one of the indicators I use with my coaching clients. What is that activity you can do without any financial reward, but you are still happy to do it? That is the activity people, any one of us, have to discover. And if you are in this spot in your life where you are following your purpose, you are happy doing that, you are changing lives, and at the same time you are financially free, you are the happiest guy in the world.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Well, you definitely are the embodiment of your course. The passion is your true passion is shining through. So let me do this. I want to wrap it up, but I will put this stuff on there. I want to thank you for being a guest today. I really appreciate your time. And
I have a free ebook called The Seven Most Powerful Questions to Uncover Your True Passion. So if there are people who want that free ebook, it's totally free. They can DM me, or I will send you my Facebook page and my Instagram, so people can DM me and I will forward that free ebook. Is totally free. But those 7 questions, they have to go through all those 7 questions. And if they follow the 7 questions, at the end, they will have get clarity on their true passion.
Excellent. All right, my friend, it was a blessing, and I look forward to being in contact with you, watching your course and your coaching as well as your ministry grow. And
Okay.
blessed, and I'll be in touch with you soon.
It was a blast also for me. Thank you for inviting me in your show, and I hope people got some value from that.
Oh, I'm sure they will. This was excellent. Okay. Be blessed. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Leave Your Mark today. Tune into our next episode of Leave Your Mark with Vince Cortese. Be blessed.
You just left your mark. Thanks for listening. Listen to more episodes on demand. Just click Leave Your Mark with Vince Cortese.